Hi, everyone. DeMarco here, General Manager, DeMarcosports.com with your Sunday video report. I've got a free pick coming up and your breakdown for the NFC Championship game between the 49ers and the Detroit Lions. And of course, here on the video report with the NFL free selections over the past 14 weeks, I have gone 44, 23, and 1, 44, 23, and 1 with the NFL free picks, the plays that I've been giving away. And that is coming up in just a moment. A couple of quick notes. I have not been around, of course, the past couple of weeks, just haven't felt well. Two things. One, you can always subscribe to the channel down here in the corner to be alerted to when I will have a video report. And on days that I do not have a video report, just keep in mind that you can get my free pick on the website. Just look at DeMarcosports.com or on whatever site. They're all the same that you normally get my premium plays, or you watch the video if you're not watching it exclusively on YouTube. You can go to DeMarcosports.com. In the top menu, you'll see that little column that says, the little drop-down menu that says free picks. And I will have my free picks backed by extensive analysis, the same analysis that you would get if you were buying my premium plays. I will generally have my basketball plays available between 2 and 3 o'clock Eastern time, some days a little earlier, but generally with basketball, I like to wait until the NBA releases the updated injury reports. Especially, I like to wait because with NBA teams, I like to get a sense of who's playing when teams, most of them go through that mid-morning, early afternoon walkthrough. You get a lot of updated injury reports. So that's why tend to release my plays closer to 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock. I've never understood the sense and the reason and the logic between a lot of handicappers releasing their plays at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning when if you're going toward the NBA, when you don't have a sense of who's going to play and what subsequent line moves may result from inactivity as well. So again, if I'm not here, you can get the free plays over there at DeMarcosports.com. And again, subscribe and you can always be alerted. Also, today, it was up yesterday as well. I'm not going to waste 10 minutes here on the video report, 10 minutes of your time going through all the stats, but I've put over on the site under Pro Football an extensive breakdown of some of the more important stats, history of what has happened from an ATS perspective here in the conference round, and some of the more interesting, significant ATS stats involving all 4 teams playing today. That's over again under Pro Football in the free pick section over at DeMarcosports.com. My best bet today is going to be a raise the bar 20 dime release on the Ravens and Chiefs. Raise the bar 20 dime winner number 7 out of 9 in football. That's college and pro this season. And it's the half price play of the day. If you're interested, using coupon code HALF, HALF. My last 20 dime play, well, I did push with a teaser last Saturday, but the last one before that was the Bills at Miami in week number 18. My philosophy today, A, I love the game. B, I'm on a red hot roll. And, I've always believed that when you're on a hot streak, why not push the action? Because after all, this is gambling. What are we doing it for? Otherwise, if you've accumulated bankroll, what are you going to do? Walk away from the table? That's when you push your chips in and go for it. And hell, why not? I mean, Jesus, over the past 10 weeks, I'm on a 16-5 roll with my top rated 15 dime NBA best bet releases. Yesterday, college and pro NBA combined, I hit number 24 out of 38 with South Carolina over Missouri. Last Sunday, I hit the top rated 15 dime best bet in the NFL divisional round with the Lions. So I'm going for today. And again, it's the half price play of the day using coupon code HALF, HALF. Okay, let's get to this particular game. Listen, guys, I look at the 49ers and, let's go back a little bit. When they had that 3-game losing streak prior to their bye at the end of October, they had all the injuries, right? And then they came out of that bye. They beat the hell out of Jacksonville 34-3, took care of business against Tampa Bay 27-14. beat up Seattle 31-13. And then the game, I was all over them with a raise the bar 29 play. They killed Philadelphia in revenge 42-19. And then the following week, they had a letdown game against Seattle. Got the job done 28-16. At that point, I became a little concerned because it just seemed, even though they did struggle in the first half against Arizona, they did win that following game 45-29. But that's when Baltimore went to San Francisco on Christmas and just demolished the 49ers. And then, they got the job done against Washington 27-10. Week number 18, it was the meaningless game against the Rams. And then last week, let's face it, they were lucky to escape with the win against the Packers. But when I look back, I think the last strong game the 49ers played was really against the Eagles. I saw a team that really didn't play exceptionally well defensively down the stretch. I saw a team that had, at times, put it all together offensively, but didn't really have those breakout games that you saw early in the year. Remember, before they had that 3-game losing streak prior to the bye, when they started out 5-0 and were putting up the big numbers on the board? So today they're 7. Some places 7.5, but mostly 7. Now, last week against the Packers, you can say, okay, they were playing in a driving rainstorm. Certainly didn't help. You saw Brock Purdy had problems throwing the wet ball, but they were also playing a Packers team that had just been rolling offensively. And you've got a Detroit team coming into Santa Clara today that is rolling offensively as well. So doesn't that give you pause and reason to be concerned? Now, I know certainly as well as you do that the Lions are not a good defensive team. And when they came out of their bye, if you remember, and they went to San Diego and they were lucky to win that game 41-38, that was a team that I thought just had absolutely no chance to make any noise in the postseason because their defense under Aaron Glenn simply couldn't get the job done. And yet, over the last few weeks, they've started to play significantly better. And the reason they played better defensively is suddenly the pass rush, which was non-existent for weeks and weeks, is starting to get the job done. And that has been impressive. Listen, we know the Lions offense has been able to get the job done as long as Jared Goff doesn't throw interceptions, as long as he doesn't fumble the ball. But, you can't handicap turnovers. That's the reality, and it's always been that way. They're going to be able to run the ball with Montgomery and Gibbs. Yes, the 49ers have a very good defense. And yes, they should be able to put adequate pressure on Goff, especially since the Lions are going to be without one of their starting guards, and also because their center is battling knee and ankle injuries. But I look at the way the Lions have been playing with such confidence. And the Lions are constantly going to press the action because that's the style of play under Dan Campbell. They're always going to be aggressive. They're always going to take shots. And if you had asked me 4 or 5 weeks ago, if you had asked me before they lost to the Ravens, and you had given me this scenario, they're at home, they're only laying 7 against Detroit, I would have taken San Francisco. But fast forward, and now I think you got to take the Lions plus the points. And if you're getting 7, well, I'm buying up to 7.5. If you're getting 7.5, I'm perfectly content. Do I love this play? Absolutely not. But the statistics with the Lions in terms of how they've just been a money-making machine since Dan Campbell arrived. The stats with the Lions, how they have just been a tremendous play as a dog, covering 21 of their last 31, including 17 out of 26 on the road. It's hard to deny those numbers. And you also know that the 49ers have failed to cover in each of their last 6 home games. Now listen, numbers can be twisted and turned just as much as any shady accountant can do it. But still, the numbers are hard to ignore in this particular spot. So I love my play in the Ravens-Chiefs game. But I think in this particular case, the game that I Can't wait to watch here tonight. I like the Lions plus the points. It's going to be a clear night, a clean field, and I think Detroit as the dog in what could be a 3 to 4 point game. Because again, think about how the Lions play and think about how the Packers play. Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Lions strong set of receivers, better than the Packers. Lions can run the ball even more effectively than the Packers can because they've got the two backs as opposed to just Aaron Jones. True, you're going to have a nice, fast, clean field as opposed to playing in the rain, and the Packers gave them all, meaning the 49ers, that they could handle. Why can't the Lions? That's just the genesis behind the play, and that's why I'm taking Detroit plus the points. Guys, I wish you well. Talk to you soon. Good luck, everybody.